All right, pre-comment of the day, Dion Watson, who also sent me a direct message on Instagram. And also my office told me. So this is the third time I'm hearing it, but I'm going to announce it. She says, squad, I got my permanent green card through Brad. Bless up, Brad. You are the best. Thank you very, very much. Samantha Jones. Hey, Brad, does it matter if you don't have your husband's last name? I assume in terms of filing for your immigration papers, no, it is a modern world. You do not have to take your husband's last name. But in me, if you would marry me, I would be insulted if you didn't take my last name, but every man's different. But no, you don't have to. You don't have to do it. Denise Cromaz. Hey, Brad, my mom is a U.S. citizen. I am unmarried daughter over 21. I live in Jamaica. We got the approval letter from USCIS April of this year and was advised that the National Visa Center will reach out to us within 30 days. USCIS will reopen on June 4th. Does this mean the National Visa Center will reopen as well? Does this also mean that we will be contacted soon? And last, what supporting documents does my mom need with the affidavit of support? No, just because the USCIS opens doesn't mean National Visa Center will open. The National Visa Center most likely has been open this entire time. It has been. What hasn't been open is the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica. Every country, the embassies are going to open different times depending on what's going on with coronavirus in any particular country. So just because USCIS opens up here in America, and by the way, they're opening up everywhere but New York, doesn't mean that embassies will be opening up around the world. In terms of what your mom needs, 3 years tax returns, a job letter, and a bank letter. But it's also what you need now. There are new forms for you as well. You have to be able to show that you can support yourself here without going on any public assistance. So the government's going to want to know what your work history is, what skills you have, whether you're a healthy worker, whether you have an education, whether you have a job offer, whether you're going to have health insurance. So there's lots and lots of things that you need to do now that you otherwise didn't need to do previously. Let's see what else we have here. Jennifer Garza with a question. She starts off with, I have a question. So thank you. I was able to see it. What if me and my husband are having issues and he's not home, living apart? Will we get in trouble for me to continue to petition the I-485? Well, Jennifer, it's possible you can get in trouble. When you apply for your green card as an adjustment of status, what you are doing is your spouse is saying, I want my Jennifer, well, because you're asking this question, I want Jennifer to live with me here in America in order to keep our family together, the woman I love. And you go on an interview, and the whole interview is to determine, do you live together? Do you have a financial relationship together? So if you're going to go to the interview and you're going to say, me and my husband live apart, we're having problems, they're going to deny you. If you go into the interview and you say, me and my husband live together, when in fact you're living apart, now you're lying and committing misrepresentation. And it's possible that as they interview you more, they can discover all of this and even label your marriage as a business marriage, which would bar you from ever getting a green card ever in the rest of your life. So when you ask, can you get in trouble? Yeah, you can get in a lot of trouble. So now you're living apart. What do you do? There are three options. You can try to fix your marriage. That's an option. Figure out, how do I fix my marriage? Do you go to a counselor? You're a pastor. How do we fix this marriage? Maybe you're living apart because you're physically abused, or there's extreme emotional abuse. Then what you would do is tell your husband, bye-bye, see you. And you file a VAWA application, an abuse application. Or if none of those apply, I don't know if it would be a smart thing for you to continue your case. Perhaps if there's no solution, perhaps getting a divorce and falling in love again. But I think you need to have a consultation so we can go through everything. Michael Overcome Newsom, how are you? Good evening, Uncle Brad. Two questions. First, how long does it take to get an I-130 approved if I'm married to a U.S. citizen wife? Or do you think the corona will delay the approval of an I-130? I think the I-130 could be delayed. In one hand, it could be delayed. In another hand, there's not too many people filing, so they don't have a lot of work. So I think maybe it'll go actually faster. If you actually had to, if I had to take a guess, your I-130 will be faster than before because they don't have a lot of work right now in immigration. How long will it take? I don't know. Before it was taking 12 months, figure 12 months, but most likely less. Let's see what else we have here. Lots of back and forth. Lots and back and forth. All right, Elizabeth Darby, yelling her question in capitals. Uncle Bran. Yes, I'm Uncle Bran, right? I'm your fiber of the day. Uncle Bran. Question. My husband wants to send my paper to the immigration, but him birth certificate short of one letter. Can I send it to the immigration? Yes, you can send it. If his birth certificate's off by a letter, you could always give an affidavit what the problem is or correct. Send it with the birth certificate that's off one letter, correct the birth certificate and bring it to the interview, or you can do affidavits, and there's lots of different things. I wouldn't worry about one letter. Eventually you have to correct it and deal with it. But yeah, you can send it. Rochelle Sinclair Brown. Uncle Brad, when will the USCIS office reopen? Also, do you know when the IRS office will open? I can't access my tax transcript online. I understand USCIS is going to open tomorrow, but not in New York. I don't know. I have not been following the IRS, so I don't know when the IRS will be open, but I would assume if USCIS is opening soon, so would the IRS. Joseph Kanunda with a question. Can traffic tickets like driving with no license and insurance in another country stop you from migrating to the U.S. on a family-based visa? I have no record in the U.S. Being a bad driver does not prevent you from getting a green card. Having an arrest record may. So it depends what happened on those traffic tickets. Depends if you were ultimately found guilty of just driving without a license, then you're absolutely fine. You will get a green card. If it's something more serious, then different story. Let's see what else we have here. Lots of comments today, so I got to go through. Stacey Ann Taylor. I don't know if that's a question, but she's replying to Lisa Bennett, and I don't know what Lisa Bennett was saying. Cordella Douglas, our prayers to you. She's in the hospital with a blood clot in her lungs. I feel terrible. We send all of our prayers. Everyone from the Brad Squad sends their prayers to you. Please feel better, be well, and you'll get through this, and our prayers are with you, Cordella. Udette Graham Brown, and by the way, you are loved by everybody on this Brad Squad. There's a lot of people in this world who love you, Cordella. So I'm sure you'll get through this. I promise. Udette Graham Brown. Hi, Brad. I have a friend who used a lawyer to get her 2-year green card now. She needs to file for the 10 years, but doesn't want to use the same lawyer. However, she didn't get back any paperwork from the previous lawyer. Does she need to get the paperwork to take to the current lawyer? No. You don't need anything from the prior lawyer to remove the conditions of your permanent residence. Everything you need, you have already. You need proof that from the time you got your green card up to the present that you and your spouse are living together, along with a copy of your green card. You don't need anything else. Let's see what else we have here. There's so many comments and no questions today. Just comments. And now here's Hump Day stuff. All right, here's some questions. And Denisha Joseph, by the way, I just have Denisha Joseph. Well, very well said, Denisha. And I want to give her a pre-comment of the day. Red and yellow, black and white, we're all are precious in God's eyes. So simple. Don't know why people are trying to make it so difficult. Amen. Nicole Hernandez, my I-130 was approved on April 1st, 2020. The notice of action stated the petition will be transferred to the Department of State, and at 30 days, I have to check with the National Visa Center if no response was received. I checked with the National Visa Center 8 weeks after I received the I-797 and was told that they don't have any record of receiving the petition. What steps am I to take? Should I wait on them to update me, or should I contact USCIS? I don't think contacting USCIS is going to do anything. I would wait another couple weeks. They should receive it very shortly. If after another 3-4 weeks they still have no record at National Visa Center, contact me. But you contacting USCIS isn't going to do anything. Abigail Turner, can our joint sponsor for the adjustment of status be a green card holder? Yes, it can. It could be a joint sponsor could be a green card holder or a U.S. citizen. What documents will he need to submit with alongside the I-864? 3 years tax returns, a job letter, and a bank letter. Let's see what else we have here. Stacey Ann Taylor with a question. Brad, I was asking a question. I just got married, but I already have a social security number and work permit, but my husband just filed my papers. Will it take long for me to get through? I'm also working. I hope it doesn't take long for you to get through. I don't know why you have a work permit, maybe an old work permit. Hopefully, because if you have a current work permit, I'm not sure where you would have that from. Maybe it's a DACA. But you're going to keep the same social security number, but it should take you less than 12 months if everything is done well. Jessica Lee with a question. My husband, I put his paperwork for adjustment of status and work permit on January 13th of this year, and he's had biometrics done. How can we expect before his work permit comes in? It takes about 5 to 6 months from January. So hopefully it's now January 13th. They may have been backed up a little bit because of biometrics. Hopefully by the end of June or July, I hope you would see that he would be getting his work permit. Let's jump over to YouTube and see what's going on YouTube. Lee with a question. Brad, is USCIS processing adjustments at the moment? My friend's package was returned to her with a random list of possible errors. The answer is yes, they are processing adjustments. The answer is also, if you do not do the adjustment application perfect, USCIS will return it. A lot of times they'll accept your money, not return your money, and tell you your case is denied. So absolutely they are processing, and I would say your friend did it absolutely wrong. Jamani Tawari, and by the way, I lost a lot of our questions on YouTube, so if you're watching on YouTube, ask the question again. Jamana Tawari, I married a U.S. citizen in 2015. My I-751 receipt date is May 29th. 2018. After 24 months, they transferred my case to the National Benefits Center. Still no reply for the 10-year green card. Can I apply for the N400, then USCIS interview for 10? I don't know what for 10 means. Then USCIS interview for your 10-year green card. You can apply for your N400, and at your N400 interview, they will give you both your interview for the 10-year card and your citizenship simultaneously. So the answer is yes, you can do both. Jamani asking the question 3 times. Julie Matabar. My passport is expired. If I go to citizenship interview, then I need to renew my passport, or can I go with my expired passport because now passport office is closed? You can go with your expired passport if that's all you have. It'd be nice if you renew it, but if you don't have it, go with the expired one. Don't not go because you don't have your passport. Rukan Talakdor, do you have any latest update about the 60-day immigration suspension order? No, none whatsoever. Nothing new I've read about. Daily highlights with a pre-comment of the day. I think everybody is in agreement. I'm tired of that orange head man. Donald Trump is the worst president. I agree 100%. Aman Kasria. Hello, Uncle Brad. When family court's going to open in New York City for orders of protection? I hope soon. I don't know. We got to, it's when Cuomo decides. He hasn't said we're allowed to do it yet. It's when Cuomo decides to do it. So hopefully very soon. Versatile Lifestyle 1. If my wife applies for food stamps, will it affect my adjustment of status? The answer is absolutely it will. You're most likely to get denied. So be very careful with that. Danelle Toussaint, good evening, Uncle Brad. I have a question. Do you know when they will reopen immigration? Tomorrow, except in New York. Dalen Jack says, hi, Brad. I'm filing my DS-260. I've traveled to Curacao in 2018, but there's no Curacao option for places traveled in the last 5 years. What should I do? I don't understand what you mean by you're filling out your DS. There's no Curacao option. Then I'm sure there's another option that's close. I would need to look at the form and see, but I'm sure there's another option that's close. Jennifer Lindarian, question. I'm a U.S. citizen. I want to continue the application, but I'm concerned because we are not together. He even called the cops one day to try to get the papers to send in for an RFE. Jennifer, why would you want to continue the case on a man who called the cops on you? Does that make any sense? Give me a call. Miloslav Minkov, hi, Uncle Brad. Can you please advise my VAWA application was approved in August of 2019. Do you think I should reach out to the USCIS regarding my adjustment of status interview once they reopen, or just wait? You can absolutely reach out. There's no harm in reaching out. If you filed the adjustment and your VAWA together at the same time, it's not based on when. It is based on when your VAWA is approved. I didn't realize you told me. It's August 2019. You should have gotten an interview already. And by August of 2019, you're almost 10, 11 months into this. You should have gotten an interview already. You should absolutely reach out to them. It won't hurt you, by the way, so you might as well do it. Peace Martin, can I file a VAWA if I went to my first interview and my husband is mad at me because he acts bad? I don't know what you mean because he acts bad. If he's abusive, yes. If he is emotionally abusive to a high level, the answer is yes. To an extreme level, yes. So I'm not sure what you mean by he acts bad, but it doesn't sound good. So I think you should give us a call at 1-800-529-5465. Sunday Unato. Brad, my spouse is pulling out of the marriage and all supporting documents. We have gone for our interview and no response from USCIS. What should I do? Try to make up with her. Try to save the marriage. You're almost at the end. Okay. There's ways that you can save marriages. And if not, then give me a call and let's figure out what options you have. 29 Super C, what are the protocols to attend the interviews at USCIS and US embassies during this COVID pandemic? I'm not sure about the US embassies, but the protocols at USCIS are you're not going to be allowed in the building unless within 30 minutes of your interview, you have to wear a mask, and you're basically going to have to stand outside. There's not going to be a lot of places to sit. That's what I understand. We'll see how they work it tomorrow when they open. Safi Darbo, hi Brad, how long does it take to get an interview after VAWA is approved? Should be less than 12 months. Miloslav Minkov, you should contact them. If your adjustment was filed in 2015, your VAWA was approved in 2019, and it's now almost, we're now in the middle of 2020, and you still haven't been approved 5 years later. I think you need to contact immigration or contact a lawyer. Segin Sumidi, what can I do if my ex-wife lies to immigration that our marriage is not real, that I paid her money to get married? Well, she lied on you. You can file a VAWA case, prove it was a real marriage, and prove she was a liar if there was abuse. But you're going to have to prove she's a liar. So now there's a rebuttable presumption that it's a business marriage. So maybe she said this to get at you. That's a lot of that would be really emotionally abusive to say that, to get you basically, allege that you committed a crime and get you deported when it's not true. Ziona Gonzalez, and I think you need help. So give me a call, 1-800-529-5465. Ziona Gonzalez, hello, Uncle Brad. I remembered my wife took food stamps in January, February. I'm filing for VAWA case. Is it going to make any effect on my VAWA? No, it won't. Your wife taking food stamps on your VAWA case will be fine. Dominic Smith, is 33.6 enough to sponsor a wife and child? Yes, but your wife is going to need to have a job letter and proof that she has medical insurance, as well as proof that she has some sort of skill to get it to either work or have that job letter, one or the other. Let's go back to Facebook. See what else we have here. Now everybody's asking questions. Uncle Brad, Pauline Blackwood. I hear from the USCIS about my I-130, but the lawyer don't say anything to me. Okay. I don't know what you want me to say. Call your lawyer and say, how come you don't say anything to me? Stacy Ann Taylor, Brad, I was asking a question. I just got married, but I already have a social security number, work permit. My husband just filed my paper. Will it take long for me to get through? I'm also working. It'll take you the same amount of time, whether you had a social or not, whether you had a work permit or not, probably 12 months or less. Joan Grant, Brad, I have a question. When one has been petitioned for, what if the person can support themselves, but they do not have any insurance? It depends. It depends. Whether they can support themselves or not, it's a two-step process. First step is the petitioner has to be able to show they can support you. So it doesn't matter that you're making $1 million, the petitioner has to be able to support you anyway. And then once you get past that step one, then you have to show how can you support yourself? How can you convince the government that you're not going to go on any sort of a government assistance? You know, you're a healthy person, you have health insurance, you have a good job, you have skills, that type of thing. So it's not enough that you can support yourself. Joseph Kanunda, is offenses traffic, you arrested, can you get a green card? Generally, traffic offenses are not inadmissible, but you getting arrested could impact on good moral character. So that's why the answer is yes, but with a little hesitation. I got to know a little more. Christine Bennett, what does it mean when you are filing and your status says current? It means that you're eligible for your green card. Sure, blessed favored parent. Uncle Brad, is it okay to file April 2019, but I-130 is still not approved? Is it okay to file? Are you talking about an F2? Be a little more specific. Are you talking about an F2A adjustment application? Is that what you're talking about? The answer would be yes if you're in legal status about filing an adjustment, if that's your question. Sure, blessed, highly favored parent. I'm not sure if that's 100% your question. Sonia Daly, I did my biometrics in January 29th and I got mine already. You can check your case status using the receipt number. Thank you very much, Sonia Daly. Shami Ferros, I submitted my file I-130 March 2019. It's been over a year. I haven't gotten an interview call. I did get a letter that they need my medical again when they take the interview. Okay, nice facts. You bring your medical to the interview. Okay. Lisa Bling Rose, with just a pre-comment of the day. Please, when doing your paperwork, contact Uncle Brad to get a consultation, because making a mistake, it's going to take a lot longer. And I know sometimes it's hard to find the money, but Uncle Brad do payment plan. Thank you very much, Lisa. 1-800-529-5465. Denise Cromaz with a question. Hey, Brad, my mom is a U.S. citizen. I am an unmarried daughter over the age of 21. I live in Jamaica. We got the approval letter from USCIS April of this year. I was advised that National Visa Center will reach out to us within 30 days. I answered this in the beginning of the show. So just go and rewind. But I did answer this in the beginning of the show. Virtues Land. Uncle Brad, is there any filing fee for renewal of employment, EAD, and advanced parole? No, there should not be, not based on an adjustment. You should be able to not have to pay for it. Kareen Powell, Uncle Brad, after the VAWA approval, I have not gone for an interview. Can I start to file for my children in Jamaica? No, you got to adjust your status and then they can follow to join you. Thapa Sarah with a question. Can a Class C misdemeanor deny a green card? Perhaps. I don't know what the Class C misdemeanor is, but a Class C misdemeanor sounds like a very, very tiny offense. So generally, no, but it also depends on the situation. So I would need to know exactly what you were found guilty of and where you were found guilty and what the sentence was, and then I would be able to tell you. Senator Thomas, my cousin did her fingerprint on March 9th. When will she get her work permit knowing coronavirus was active? I don't know, but if she did her fingerprint on March 9th, April, May, June, figure sometime by the end of July. Share blessed favor parent. Yes, it was an I-45. If you are in legal status, the answer would be yes. If you are in legal status, the answer is yes. If your husband is or your spouse is a permanent resident, you would have to be in legal status. If your spouse is a U.S. citizen and you came here on a legal visa, then it doesn't matter whether you're in legal status or not. Pauline Blackwood, Sir Brad, I think paying your lawyer means she can contact you with updates. Sure, absolutely. I agree. And I think I answered Thapu's question. And let's go back to YouTube and see what else we have here on YouTube. Peace Martin says, I did not answer Peace Martin's question. Peace Martin, ask your question again because I don't see it and I didn't see it. So please ask it again. The worshipers arise. Hello, uncle. I did my fingerprint in August 2019. I'm still waiting my work permit. What can I do? You need to call me if you're waiting on your work permit and you fingerprinted in August 2019. That's like 10 months ago. 1-800-529-5465. Ziona Gonzalez with a question. Hello, Brad. About to file a VAWA case. I don't have a joint tax because I never filed for adjustment of status, so I don't have a Social Security or EAD. Just because you don't have a joint tax doesn't mean you can't prove it was a bona fide marriage. You have to be able to prove it's a bona fide marriage to do the VAWA, but it doesn't mean that if you don't have the joint tax return, you can't prove it's a bona fide marriage. So hopefully you have some other documents to make up for that. Let's go quickly back to Facebook for our last question. Two more questions on Facebook, and we're going to call it a day here. Pradeep Ram, Uncle Brad, can a self-petitioner justify by producing the discovered, shockingly found USCIS bigamy abuser spouse earlier marriage certificate as evidence of abuse? I don't know if that's evidence of abuse, but it's evidence that you now don't have a bona fide marriage. You didn't have a valid marriage. Now, there are laws that say if you did not believe you believed you were in a bona fide marriage and didn't realize you were in a bigamous marriage, that you could still do a VAWA. So that perhaps could be some evidence of a VAWA case, but I don't think just being in of itself a bigamous marriage is per se abuse. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.